Hi, thanks so much for joining me. I'm Danny from the Glittered Rose. Today I thought I'd share this gorgeous tag that I've made using Lavinia Stamps items, along with metallic pens, some foil, sprays. I had a lot of fun. So if this has been an interest, please stick around, hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this. So today I'm using the gorgeous stamp from Lavinia Stamps called Althea. It's just such a beautiful large mermaid stamp. So I've stamped her in Versafine Clair in Nocturne, and now I'm going to heat emboss her just to add a little bit of texture and keep that image nice and black. Okay, so I did that off camera, and I've decided I need to pop a fairy in Althea's hand. So I've got a little forest fairy, and I'm going to ink her up and stamp her, and then I'll heat emboss her as well, so they match. Gosh, I hope I can stamp her properly on the hand. I always get a bit nervous. Okay, phew, looks good. It looks like she's about to land on her hand. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to heat emboss off camera and I'll be back. I always have an idea in my head of how I would like my tags to look. That always gives me a bit of a plan. So for this one, I'd like it to look like she's underwater naturally. And I'm going to go with blues with my mysticals. So these are fantastic. You just need to shake them up. And I'm just going to spray them randomly. Oh, this one won't work. Might be clogged or something. I'm going to try and get this working off camera. No, I couldn't get it to work. So I'm going to spray just some lovely yellow or gold, and that'll sort of turn the blue green, which was what I was hoping for the other one anyway. So that just adds a little bit of extra interest. If it was all blue, it would be rather boring. And so I'm going to go with the other bluey green color now as well. I think that looks really quite pretty. These are amazing. I love these sprays. They're fantastic. I'm just going to dab off some of the colour on the mermaid. I don't want her too colourful. By embossing silhouette images like this with just a little bit of detail, it sort of protects the image from getting too colourful when you use this method. So you don't really need to mask, which is nice. I'm going to give this a blast with my heat gun to dry it off. It usually doesn't take very long, but rather than having you sit there watching me, chase around the liquid with my heat tool, I'll be back. Well, it's just about dry and I'm so happy. I'm not sure if you can pick up that shine on camera, but the mica powder is just so divine. It's just gorgeous. Um, I love it. Just going to pick up a little bit of that liquid on the paper and blast that with my heat tool. Just add a little bit of extra interest down the bottom. Waste not, want not. How amazing is it that you can get such interesting backgrounds just so quickly and easily? I just love them. I did see that Tim Holtz has brought out some mica sprays, similar to the Lavinia ones, but from what I can see, they don't look nearly as generous with the mica as the Lavinia. So I'm happy I went with these. Look at the paper. The background paper itself is a work of art. It's a bit sad to put that in the bin. There really isn't much room in her body and tail to put too much detail. So I've grabbed my silver pen touch. It's very metallic-y, chromy kind of a pen. And I'm just popping dots where those spaces are, just sort of random. And that in person, it looks just stunning. I'm not sure if the camera picks it up. I'll just sweep some colour onto the tail just for that little bit of extra detail. And I think that looks quite nice. The metallic key highlights in her tail and body looks really nice. I'm going to follow that through in her hair. So I've just grabbed out my gold gel pen and I'm just filling in the colour just so that you get the idea that her hair's golden and magical. Just some highlights. That looks really nice. I'm going to grab my deco colour. This is a really metallic gold. And, oh, that's so thick. Oh no. I think I ruined it. What have I done? Okay, so rather than throwing this out, I'm going to try and cover it up. I don't know how. I might try this black pen and just try drawing over it. Nope, that's not going to work. Hmm, what would work? I've got a black Stabilo pen. Oh, this looks like it's working. So just by going over it, it sort of hides that big, thick metallic gold. Okay, I think that looks much better. Phew, I didn't have to throw her in the bin. I'm going to keep her now. And I will keep this section in the video. Okay, so to do some stamping now, and I'm going to use Shady Lane by Versafine Clair. Just to pop on a bit of scenic elements, just to make it look like she's not floating in the middle of nowhere. I think this is nice. It's enough to be there, but it's not too much to take over the image. I think this stamp works well as an underwater foliage. Just stamping around to sort of frame her. I like that. Okay, so for the top, I'm going to go in with Versafine Spruce. And I'm going to use this stamp that I've used before. I think it's a fantastic sort of framing stamp. And I'm just going to randomly stamp it just to make it, again, just to frame her and sort of draws your eye into the center, onto the mermaid. Helps tell the story. Now I'm just colouring with my Zig watercolour pen, those little balls. Just keeping it a little bit random. They don't all have to be perfect. It's just fun. This is what's fun. I know I've said this before, but this is what's fun about Lavinia. You really get to play with different mediums and there's no rules, so you can do what you want to do. Um, you just go with your imagination and have a play, and there's no pressure. I love Lavinia. I think it's such a creative company. I feel, you know, I'm a bit of a groupie, I think. So I think this curtain needs to be a little fuller. So I've grabbed the other stamp that's in this set, and it's actually a solid one. So it works since I've coloured in those rounds. And I've grabbed a different ink colour just to add a little bit more of a curtain around the mermaid. And that just adds a little bit more interest, bit more texture. I've just grabbed out, I think it's called lavender, and I'm using Versafine Clair in Warm Breeze now, just to fill in a little bit of the base. I think it needs some flowers, and these to me look like they might sort of sit back in the background and not look too florally, but still adding that little bit of different um, underwater flora. So again, just stamping that random. I'd like my mermaid to have a bit of an ethereal glow to stand out from the background a little more. So I've grabbed out my white gel pen and I'm just running around her in certain areas just just to highlight that space between her and the background, just to make her stand out a little bit more. So just run around and then around the edges and then smooth it out with my finger. I find it really interesting and rather incredible that little touches like this, because by the time you smooth it out, it's not a harsh line. But I find it amazing how little details like this can really make a huge difference to the final effect of your artwork. So it's always I think it's nice to take the extra time and do these little extra bits and bobs. I wish you could see the shimmer on the screen. It's so pretty in real life, and the silver in her body really sort of adds to that ethereal look. I'd like to welcome all my new subscribers. It's fantastic to have you here and thank my regular watchers. I really do appreciate the support. I'm only a new channel, so it's fantastic to see my subscribe count up, and I love reading all your comments. So be sure to leave me one down below. I'd also like to remind everyone that I have started a Facebook group. I've only got a few members, so it's only brand new, but I would really love it if people could join and we could build a lovely community. I'm hoping that we could have regular swaps and questions and answers and maybe some challenges. I'm open to ideas. I'd like to build something really nice, um, nice and supportive. So the group's called the Glittered Roses Modern Card Makers. If you use your search button in Facebook, you'll be able to find us, but I will also link down below. Yeah, let me know in your join requests that you found the group through the my channel. Okay, so while I've been chatting, I have blended the edges just to bring your eye into the middle. I'm also now grabbing my Posca pen and popping some dots. I'm not sure, maybe they're orbs or little fairy dust, but I really like the look. I'm just doing it in different colours. It just adds that little bit of extra interest and texture and a little bit of magic to the tag. If I can infuse a little bit more magic, I will. Okay, so I'm going to pop some dots of glitter glue, stickles down, just in those rounds, just add a little bit more interest. And I think that'll be a nice little glittery touch. These have got such a nice fine tip, so it makes it easy. Do you know what? that glitter is not gonna dry for days, so I'm gonna smooth it down rather than having the dots, and that'll add a little bit of twinkle up the top because I want it dry for my next step. I literally have a tub full of foil. I purchased, some foil really cheaply from a lady who doesn't, do cards anymore, and I had a lot to start with. So, I'm gonna use foil in a different way, and I've grabbed my quickie pen out. I think I need a broader tip because this tip is just so fine. And I've just popped down some quickie glue, and I'm just heating it up so it's tacky, and I'm gonna pop some blue foil on. So you put the foil down color side up like you would if you were hot foiling a hot foil plate, and just burnishing it down. I'll use my bone folder, and that just picks up that foil. I'm not sure, it's so fine. My pen is so fine. I'm not sure if it picks it up well enough on the camera, but I'm going to do this around the tag in certain parts. And yeah, just in this method. I did the rest off camera, but as you can see, it's sort of a light border of sparkly foil. Sort of looks like I've scratched it on because the pen is so fine, but it's incredible the detail you could get if you wanted to do this method. I think it's quite a nice method. I might look for a thicker nib though, so I can have a bit of a thicker, not so scratchy effect next time. I think the tag is pretty much finished, so I'm going to back it onto another tag just to give it a little bit more stability. And I'll be back. I'll pop some fiber in the hole, and I'll be back with the finished product. I'm really happy with how it looks though. In person, it's just so pretty. And here she is, all finished. I love the foil on the corners, and that silver in her tail looks really great. I'm glad I could fix up her hair with that whoopsie. And yeah, just that mica in that spot is stunning. Well, I hope you like her. Let me know down below what you think. Hit the like button and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thanks so much for watching till the end. Till next time. Bye, guys.